Again, thank you for joining today. We're very excited about this webinar. Let me tell you, we got some good feedback from last week's webinar as we talk about tools for success and what that means. So, you know, the expectation today, the purpose of the call is it's January 2018, right? We're starting over new year, a lot of big things happening this year that we're excited about, and more to come from that perspective as we talk about that here in just a few moments. But a lot of big things coming. But guys, we wanted to get back to the basics. This webinar is put together based on our feedback with you over the years and our partners in general about our products, forms, collateral. So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to visit our website. We're going to go through some very important information on our website that we know is going to benefit you. And again, you might hear me say this through the webinar several times, is these are questions that we're asked. And I don't know about you, but in this fast-paced business we're in, sometimes it's hard to slow down and figure out, where do I find this or where do I find that? So we want to help you with that in knowing where to go for this important information so that you're already successful with our products so that you can be more successful. So we're going to visit our website. We're also going to visit the ACDI, the PaperCut Partner Portal. A lot of great discussions going to go on there and some things that we want to strongly encourage you to do. And then we're going to wrap up by visiting the PaperCut web-based dashboard and go through a live demo of PaperCut, okay? So again, thank you for joining today. It's going to be a fun webinar, a little bit different from what we've done before, but again, a lot of great feedback from last week. Let's go ahead and talk about February. Now listen, you're going to want to sign up for the PaperCut version 18.0 webinars on February 8th and 22nd. On those dates, we will do, like we do now, we'll do a sales webinar at 11 a.m. Central Time, and then Doc will take you through his technical webinar of 18.0 at 1 o'clock Central Time on those dates. So be on the lookout for those invites. You will receive those sooner than later, and you're not going to want to miss this one. This is a major release. We've got a lot of great stuff to talk about, so I encourage you to attend. Get your coworkers to attend. Get everybody to attend because you're not going to want to miss that. Now, we do record these webinars, so if you'd like to register for Doc's 1 o'clock technical webinar, in which he's getting back to the basics as well, and I'll let Doc address towards the end of the webinar some of the, maybe a little bit of a taste on what he's going to cover, because there might be some of you on this call right now or in the room with your coworkers that need to know, that need to be on that technical webinar. So you can go to www.acd-inc.com, hover over PaperCut MF, select webinars, and you'll be able to register for his 1 o'clock webinar, and you'll also be able to listen to our past webinars. So I'm not going to arrow forward to the next slide because that's the trivia question. We're going to save that until the end of this. I did it anyway, didn't I? That was an accident. We're going to save that until the end of the webinar today. And as we go through the webinar, I will offer you a few subtle hints so that it will be a little bit easier to answer that trivia question. But it's going to be pretty obvious where we're wanting to go with that. But we'll get to that here in just a few moments. But first and foremost, I'll ask a question, even though you're not going to be able to answer me. But have any of you ever visited our website? It might seem like a silly question, and some of you on the call might be saying, yes, I actually have. But if you haven't, I want to strongly encourage you, and you're going to hear me say that through this webinar. I want to strongly encourage you to do that. Bookmark our website. It's going to make more sense here in just a few moments as I visit different sections and tabs and parts of our webinar that's going to help you be successful and know where to find information. So first and foremost, as you see, our webinar, it's very easy to navigate through. We're very excited about this. Our marketing department takes a lot of pride in what this looks like. So go out and get to know our webinar. You can see a lot of information is always going to be flashing across the top. We're very proud of the Buyers Lab 2018 pick. Go out there and read that for PaperCut. But first and foremost, let's start up here at the top with paper cut. So as we go down, some important things that we want you to see, there's little things about paper cut. And we're going to click on some of these, and rest assured I'm not going to take you through our entire website, okay? We'll be here for about 30 minutes together. But there's things that, might be beneficial for you. Just what is paper cut? Maybe you have new reps. Maybe you're needing just a good highlight of some features. For example, you see integrated scanning here. There's a lot of features within paper cut that you might not be aware of. A latest feature section. Again, just think about you calling on your customers and wanting to talk to your customers' new reps. The first thing that you see here is 17.4. That's the current release that we're in. Well, here's that webinar tab. There you go. So this is where you go register, and you see a great picture of Doc and myself. Believe it or not, we do look a little bit different right now. We look better. Isn't that right, Doc? But anyway, here's where you register. So you can register for Doc's webinar this afternoon. And then, of course, as you scroll down, here's our webinars from last year, both sales and technical. Look here, mobility printing with printer on and paper cut. That's a big one, guys. Mobility printing, if you're not hearing it, you might not be asking the right questions. And I can assure you mobility printing is big right now. We talk about it a lot. And we've got you covered from A to Z with mobility printing, whether it's with paper cut or a fantastic product called Printer On. Collateral. Actually, you know what? I got the cart before the horse. Let me go back. Let me go back to training. So we have both technical training and advanced technical training courses that you can attend. So keep an eye on this for you technical folks that might be on the call. It's located here at our headquarters. So you can enroll and register for these classes, and you can see a very collaborative, hands-on, in-depth approach to paper cut. Chris Robertson does a fantastic job. He's one of our senior solutions architects, very knowledgeable of the product, and does a great job teaching it. This is a very technical class, okay? You will come here to our headquarters and visit us for this class. So we're asked about this. And again, guys, just a quick reminder, what I'm going over today, I'm showing you this because we're asked about this all the time. Where can I find this information? Collateral. I want to click on this education brochure and show you how good this looks. Look at this brochure. If you're going to visit one of your education customers, actually, let me go back here. This is the one I meant to click on. My apologies. Look at this information here. If any of you attended our educational webinar in the education vertical last year, we talked about some of this information. We've even included the education market pain points. Remember, we focused on accountability and cost savings. There's a lot of great information in this collateral, in this brochure that you can print off and take to your customer. And again, we can just keep scrolling. But what we've done is we've taken the more popular features and topics and verticals, and we put this underneath paper cut and underneath and within the collateral link. So I encourage you, go out, take a look at this. One thing I do want to talk about, and this is very important, is trials. How many of you on the call are asked, hey, can we trial this software? Well, the answer is yes. We offer a 40-day trial, a 40-day trial that you can download and install yourself, or we have a team that Doc's a member of through this form that you can request install assistance. And we can give you all the details of what that means at another time. We won't talk about that today. But guys, we're here to support you on trials and getting these going for your customers. But listen, this is your ace of spades, if you will, the trials. Keep this in mind. You know when to offer this to your customer and position this for your customer, okay? We're not here to drop in a trial on a meeting that you've called us on where it's a slam dunk deal and it's sold and we just need to walk through a demo with your customer. We don't want to set that sale back for 40 days, right? Because what are customers more than likely going to do? They're going to jump on board. They're going to want to kick the tires. So use this trial where you see fit, but just know that we have this at your disposal. Printer On, again, mentioned it a few moments ago, mobility printing. Mobility printing has taken off. It's not taking off, it has taken off. This is something we are talking about. So any types of mobility printing needs, with paper cut and or printer on, we've got you covered. So again, you can go here and learn a little bit more about printer on, collateral, and even get a quote. Card readers, just real brief here. Most of you, if you've bought a paper cut deal from us, you know that they might require card readers. I want to make sure you understand the scope of the types of readers that we can offer you and your customer, and here they are. And this is the whole point of me clicking on this link, is to show you what we can do. So no need to ask us if we sell card readers, because we do. Now, we do want to test one of those cards, so always try to obtain a test card, and I'll talk about that here in just a moment. What are some of our payment solutions? If you attended our, can't remember if it was October or November, but if you attended that webinar, it was over our hardware payment solutions. Libraries, universities, typically is where we're going to find those. Devices that can add money onto a paper cut account. So we have this hardware. We're a one-stop shop for you guys. This is hardware that we design and manufacture here in-house. So if you're interested in learning more, visit this link. Give us a call. We have other products for you Lexmark partners on the phone. We have a product called CoinEct, which offers some great features from a charging standpoint, from copy, print, scan, and fax, email. You know, we can visit with you more in depth on a separate call. Support. This is the last link that we'll visit here. Obviously, contact information. We have a detailed brochure that lays out our different support levels and what we can offer you and your customer. Guys, we have top-notch support. We take a lot of pride in our support and our professional services division. So we've got you covered, whether it's a pre-sale support scenario or post-sale. We're here for you. So what I'm going to do is go back to our home page, and we're going to visit this area here in the middle before we transition into the PaperCut Partner Portal. Just a few things here that I want to touch on. So if you've ever requested a quote from us before, you're pretty familiar with our quote form. So if you do need a quote, you can request a PaperCut quote or a printer-on quote. So familiarize yourself with this form. It's very easy to go through once you've requested a quote or two, but we want you to get familiar with that, and our team is here to visit with you about that as well. This is this card analysis form that I visited about a few moments ago, and I'm not going to necessarily click on that form, but if you do have an opportunity where card readers are required, we strongly recommend that you send in a test card, and if you have questions as to why, we can visit about that offline, but it's really important that we test cards. Spanish-speaking forms as well. Trials, again, I showed you the trial request form just a few moments ago. Let me go back to the home page. And again, there's some other information here about ACDI. You'll find that we have this information placed throughout our website, and I'm going to scroll down. There's a quick picture of our new building that we're very proud of, and I'm sitting here giving you this webinar right now. Let's scroll down to the bottom, and I'm going to show you a couple of more things before we transition into the partner portal. One thing to point out here, number one, you can access the PaperCut Partner Portal, I'm tripping over my words, right here by selecting ACDI Reseller Login. Okay, there's a couple of other areas on our website that you can do that as well. We also have a blog, and I'm going to click on that blog because I'd like to show you a couple things here on the blog. Well, what's the first thing that pops up? Well, this is a recent award for BLI for 2018. So we were the 2018 pick for EARN's Outstanding Cost Accounting and Cost Control Solution. I've been in your offices, maybe not yours in particular, but I've traveled enough to know that most offices that I walk into have those glass trophies sitting around for BLI awards. So that's important to you. It's important to us as well. But this blog will offer you a lot of our updated awards and information, even in some employee spotlights, a lot of fun stuff to read and learn a little bit more about our company. So that will wrap up our walk through the ACDI website. But again, getting back to what I said a few moments ago, I encourage you, bookmark our website. I've gone through and highlighted some of the more important areas that you'll want to visit and gather information. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hover here in the middle of the website, and I'm going to select Reseller Login. So this is redirecting me to the PaperCut Partner Portal, and let me type in my username and password, log in, and here we go. It directs me to the Partner Portal. So you might want to even on our website bookmark that link as well for the Partner Portal. Now let's talk about the Partner Portal. Some of you might be sitting on this call asking yourself, what is the Partner Portal? Well, if you're on this call, that means you're a partner and a reseller for ACDI and PaperCut and our products, okay? What that also means for you is that your company has a username and a password to this portal. So if you don't have that, ask your manager, ask your solutions director, whomever that might be that you think would be the one that would have that, and ask for it. There's nothing in this portal that is necessarily management related. This portal is meant for anyone and everyone to log in and to look through here and to gather information, okay? So like I did with our website, we're going to go through a few things, but here's one thing I want to point out to you, and I'm going to go ahead and scroll down to the bottom of the partner portal. Look at this, ACDI tools. So we are directly connected to the PaperCut partner portal with very important links that you will need and you will use as you're on the partner portal. Maybe you're here and you need to request a quote. If I was to select this, it's going to direct me right back to the quote form. So I'm not going to select those because we just went through them. Trust me, the links work. But let's take a look at the home page, and you can see that 18.0, you can now look at this, go out, see what the release is. This was actually released a little bit differently than it usually is. Typically, the new releases are released to, companies like ours, ACDI, who is an ASC for PaperCut. But if you were to log into your portal, you're going to see this, so you can get a little bit of a taste of what 18.0 has and what's coming. But again, also attend those webinars. A lot of great information on the home page, but the first thing I want to do is go up to training and hover over training. And I want to encourage you on this call to take the certification tests, okay? There's a few different tests that you can take to get certified on PaperCut. We always want to encourage our partners to do this. It really just takes your knowledge level to another level. But what it does is it also allows you to print off a certificate. Getting back to the days of me being in your offices and traveling and visiting with you at your desk or cubicle areas, I always see certifications posted. Certifications are important for your copy machines or maybe other software products that you're certified in. Why not PaperCut? So I encourage you, go out and take those certification tests so that you will be certified. Let's go to marketing. And again, there's some other information here, as you can see, with collateral. But again, we have all the collateral you're going to need. What about an ROI calculator? I'm going to go ahead and click on that because this is something that we are asked about. So you can go to this ROI calculator, and we always like to say that, you know, your customers are going to get a return on investment with PaperCut and not weeks, not months, not years, but weeks, maybe months. But this is a great tool for you to use for your customer. Maybe they're on the fence. Maybe they want to know what's their return on investment. And if we're going to spend this much money, how is this really going to help us? This is very informative and will help you explain that to them. There's newsletters, video resources. Again, under products, you know, they're always going to show the latest version that's been released. There's a release archive, which is pretty cool. You can go out and you have the downloads and the releases associated with that information. Let's talk about integrated scanning. So this is a great feature within PaperCut. You know, it allows, and I'll just scroll down and we'll show a couple of things that it does, but if the brand copy machines that you offer, and I'm going to show you that here in just a few moments, are compatible with integrated scanning when using the PaperCut embedded license, what it does is it changes the interface of the copy machine once the user authenticates. It makes it a lot more user-friendly. It allows you to select print jobs. So do I want to print release? Do I want to utilize device functions such as making a copy? Or do I want to scan? As you know, with the embedded license, PaperCut will track outgoing scans, and here's some of the actions that we can track and what customers are interested in. Maybe scanning to an email or a folder. We can set up scan actions and group actions, and depending on what the customer's interested in. Here's some of the breakdown of, what does it look like for an end user and what they're going to commonly use integrated scanning for versus the administrators. So take a look at this integrated scanning, because you're going to see some scanning features available soon as well within PaperCut 18.0. Now let me go back and get out of integrated scanning, get back to products, and you can see in the percolator, always encourage you to go there. And PaperCut's big on coffee and making coffee and drinking coffee. I know a lot of us are on the call as well, but what's brewing in the percolator? So a lot of great information here to where you can see what's coming down the road with PaperCut. But again, let me go back. Now, if you're not going to be able to quote here, it's not going to allow you to do that, even though it says here. So if you try to select that, it's going to redirect you to our website or quote form, or give you some information on how to obtain a quote. But I'm going to talk about this as a very important piece. I timed out. Bear with me. That does happen every now and then. Let's get logged back in. So I want to strongly recommend, if you are not using an NFR license in your showroom or in your office, please do so. This is one of the most important pieces, in my opinion, of getting familiar with PaperCut. What's more frustrating from a sales perspective and being a sales rep than wanting to talk about something but maybe not knowing what to say or what to talk about? Or maybe you're trying to focus on too much of the features and benefits of PaperCut versus just striking up a very simple conversation based on what we've talked about in the past. I know you're all good at what you do, but let's just be honest. As a sales rep, if we're not comfortable with something, we are not going to talk about it. I am of the mindset and belief that if the NFR is being used, and you're going to see that in action here in just a moment, but if you can download this, get this installed, get the applications installed on your copy machines and start authenticating and using the features, it's going to be easier for you to talk about and more relate to your customers whenever they have an opportunity, versus trying to remember find-me printing and rules-based routing and mobility printing and remembering features. Sometimes that's going to shy us away from talking about a product. We do this here. We use PaperCut here, and I'm going to show you another tool here in just a moment. But again, I strongly recommend for you guys to download this. And you know what? We have a team that can assist with that setup as well if needed. So we've got you covered from A to Z when it comes to the NFR, but we want you to download this. Again, I'm emphasizing this strongly. We believe that this is will give you a big advantage in selling the product and talking about PaperCut. So back to the Partner Portal homepage. I'm going to address a couple of other things as well, and we're going to move on from the homepage as we're getting close to the 11:30 Central Time hour, and I want to get through this so we can move on to the dashboard. So important information here. Two things I'm going to point you to. Number one, the PaperCut MF manuals. We are asked about this often. Can you send me manuals? We can, but you can also download them yourself. This is very important from a learning perspective with PaperCut. This is called the PaperCut Integration Matrix. We're asked questions a lot depending on the manufacturer. As you can see at the top, hey, I'm a Canon dealer or a Xerox or HP. It doesn't matter. If we scroll down, the other manufacturers are on here, okay? Hey, do we have integrated scanning on the devices that I offer? Or what are the supported card reader brands? There's a lot of information here, and I'm scrolling down too quickly. My apologies. Let me stop here. Does this device support single sign-on? You know, what methods or what can we track? Can we track outgoing faxing, as you see here? Can we track USB printing or scanning? So there's a lot of information here, questions that you might have depending on the brands that you offer, that this integration matrix will answer those questions for you. Again, why am I pointing you in this direction? Well, because if you're sitting at your desk, it might be a lot easier for you to log into the partner portal, pull up the integration matrix, and find the answer out versus maybe having to send us an email, and it might be a little bit of time before we get back with you. Don't read too much between the lines. We're here to help. We're here to help you and support you, and we will do just that. But if you've got that information at your fingertips, it's going to help you be more successful with the product. So again, the integration matrix, very, very great document. For you new folks on the call, print this off and have it at your desk. Every one of our sales reps has it on their desk as well. And last but not least, and we're going to transition out of the portal, is the knowledge base. Wealth of information here. Some of the questions you might have with PaperCut could very well be answered here in this knowledge base quickly. We use this day in and day out. Quite frankly, some of the questions you might ask us, we'll look in here too just to ensure we're providing the correct answer. Let me give you an example. I'm going to type in system requirements. This is a very common question that we are asked. Here's the system requirements. You can see here at the top, servers, mobility print server, print release station, workstations, whatever that might be, all of that information is loaded here. I'm asked often, hey, what directory services are compatible with PaperCut? Here's a list of them right here. Database servers, we're asked this question as well a lot. Do you work in a clustering environment? Yes, we can do all of this. Operating systems, it's all here at your fingertips. I can't tell you how many times I've actually copied and pasted this link and sent to someone that you've sent it on to your customer. This is a great link to, you might even want to bookmark this link. I know I have it bookmarked on my computer as well. So back to the home page. Actually, it took us to a different home page. That's okay. So again, the partner portal, I encourage every one of you to log in and get that NFR downloaded. So we're going to wrap up by going into what we call the live demo. Now, until you get PaperCut installed, until you get your NFR installed, you can still get into a dashboard of PaperCut. Now, it's an NG version of the dashboard, which is the print tracking version of PaperCut. Now, it has more to it as well, but NG is the version that does not allow for the embedded licenses. That's the MF version, which is what we're talking about. So get that NFR downloaded, and you'll have the MF version at your fingertips. But until then, you can go to PaperCut Live Demo. You can just search that in your search bar, and it's going to direct you here. I hope I typed in that correctly. I did. It's going to direct you here to the dashboard. So what's this dashboard? Well, this is the administrative dashboard that you can show your customers. I don't know about you, but most of the meetings that we have with customers, we're not going to show this to the gatekeeper. We're not going to show this to a person that's not the decision maker. We're going to show this to somebody that is the decision maker. And we want them to see how easy this dashboard is to use. Now, I'm not going to click on all of the links over here on the left or the selections and go through everything with you. I just want just a quick overview, number one, so you know what it looks like and are familiar with it, and knowing once you download that NFR, not only are you going to have this at your fingertips, but you're also going to be able to download the embedded licenses on your copy machines as well. So I'll click on a few of the options over here and just briefly describe what you're looking at, and then we will move on to the trivia question and see if there's any questions that Doc has had to answer. So users, again, we sync with different directory sources, as you saw just a moment ago whenever I selected system requirements. So PaperCut is tracked and monitored based on how many users that they have. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit as we go, and a little bit of pricing as well. that we can cover. So for those of you on the call who aren't familiar, number one, we need to determine what industry they're in, what vertical. Pricing is based on education, commercial, and professional. And we can take a little bit deeper dive with you on a phone call and to talk about the opportunity. But education is pretty self-explanatory. Professional is for bill-back opportunities, more suited for legal because there's a pop-up and some features that are included in that professional version. And then you have commercial, which is everything else. But we need to know how many users they have. It's very important because once these users are uploaded here into PaperCut, we're now tracking any and all printing. Groups, what does that mean? Well, we can set quotas on a group of individuals. For example, what you see here at the top, 1,227 members are in this group of students. We can implement a monthly quota of $20, and then anything above and beyond that, they would need to add money to their account. Accounts. So we can track and monitor via accounts, departments, locations, groups, whatever that might be. But we can upload a shared account list or an account list here in the dashboard that will enable your customers to bill back and charge back to external customers or internal customers or accounts or departments. Printers. Keep in mind, we're tracking all printing, okay? It doesn't matter if it's a desktop printer or a multifunction device. We're tracking all printing. So when we install PaperCut on their server or servers, we're going to automatically detect all of the devices that they have on their network. And it doesn't matter if they're printing through a print server or if it's a direct print job. We're going to be able to, a device that they're printing direct to, maybe a printer plugged into the USB port of their workstation. Devices, when you're using the MF version of PaperCut, any of those devices that have the embedded license installed, they will show up here, and then we'll configure the features, what they want to do there, such as tracking, copying, scanning or faxing, secure print release, find me printing. Reporting. When you get your NFR downloaded, I would encourage you to print off some of these reports. I always say that if you're going to go on a meeting and you're meeting with the decision maker, why not provide that person some information versus just talking about the product? The reports are a great way, for example, for you to, maybe show largest print users. This is a very basic report, and we can look from left to right the information that you would be able to provide. We can also show job logs. There's a lot of great information here that just at your fingertips as you begin gathering that information, and it's real easy to go out as well and, maybe you want to do a report on today and select PDF or a CSV file. There's many, many things that you can do here on top of really making it it's already easy to manage and easy to navigate through, as you can see, but being able to schedule reports and automatically have those sent to whomever within an environment or a company that needs those reports. Now, I'm not going to go into these other tabs here. That gets us into a lot of setup information, and we don't want to have too technical of a conversation. But in a nutshell, get that NFR downloaded, because this is what it's going to give you. It's going to give you PaperCut at your fingertips. This is what we're presenting. If you were to pull us into a meeting with one of your customers, this is what we're going to show them. So I encourage you, get familiar with this, and you'll be thanking us, I promise.